Well, good evening, everyone. This is Shirley Bullock, your host for Conversations. I wanted to come on tonight in anticipation of our call on Saturday morning. I wanted to come on and give you all who were not on the call last week an update. I wanted to update you, give you a recap of the call on last Saturday. Now, if I had to choose a subject for the call last Saturday, I would name it What to Do When My Ex Just Won't Let Go. So, we had a brother to call in last week, and I will not give his name, and it was such a powerful call. Um, his issue was that he's currently married, but his ex wife that he was married to for over 20 something years uh, was continuing to call him. He did not say that she was calling him like on a real regular, but as a woman and as a former wife myself, for a woman to be calling a man who is currently married, ladies, is a no-no. Brothers is a no-no. But he was bold enough, and his issue was so great that he felt led to call in to see what the sisters had to say about his situation. So he says that his ex-wife, for over 20 something years, they have grown children together and they even have grandchildren, was calling him. He is a minister in the gospel, but aside from that, he's still a man, okay? And he still has a wife. So his ex was calling him, and supposedly, what he said was for spiritual advice, okay? Now he is all in with the Lord and all of that, which is wonderful, great. And out the gate, you would think that, okay, well, it's spiritual. Maybe she's seeking a relationship with Christ, or, trying to get her soul right. And maybe she trusts him, and, maybe he's the closest thing to her or whatever, who's in the lifestyle of being a man of God. So maybe she just felt that he was a good go-to person. And he did say that in the beginning, his wife, was very understanding. He would not be on the call with his ex unless his wife knew about it. Most of the time she was there. I think he said most or all of the time she was there, but she definitely knew about the calls. But he said recently, he noticed that her spirit had shifted. Like he was discerning that she was disturbed about these calls. So he called in to get advice. What should he do in this situation? Should he cut his ex-wife off completely and tell her to go to her own pastor or go seek someone else for spiritual advisement? Or should he listen to his wife and feel her spirit and, go with his wife and just cut his ex-wife off? So that was his dilemma. And why it was his dilemma, we really don't understand, but it was brought out in the call by one of my co-hosts that it appeared that he may have still had some attachments to his ex. And clearly she had some attachments to him, the soul tie. So they were still like tied together. So at the end of the day, the advice or the opinions that we expressed were, look, that marriage is over and done with. The ink on the divorce papers has dried. You're 5 years in with the new wife. Let the past go. Leave that alone. People come with all kind of hidden agendas and motives. You never know. You got to listen to your spirit. You got to just be wise. Just do the wise thing. And the wise thing is to cut the past off. Okay, you don't have to be mean. You don't have to be rude. You don't have to be nasty. any of that, but you do have to protect what you currently have. Okay? You do have to be respectable of what you currently have. You do have to honor and cherish what you currently have, because if you don't, it could be gone. Okay, so that was the advice, the opinions that we expressed to this brother. And then we also had a gentleman who was in a marriage and had been in a marriage and has been in a marriage for over 30 something years, very experienced. So he was able to give this brother some advice on what to do, that he had an ex-wife too, and he had to cut her off in order to maintain his current marriage. And they have been kicking it since for 30 something years. So that was our call last week. It was powerful. Like I said, the brother left the call with some resolve. He was thankful. He was relieved. He came and he got what he came for. And so I want to invite all of you to the call on Saturday. We're going to be talking about self-esteem. We're going to look at it from the low self-esteem perspective, how it affects our relationships, and from the high esteem or the too high esteem perspective, and how that also affects our relationships. So we want to talk about that balance, not too low and not too high. We want to be right there in the middle. So I hope that you will join us, me and my co-hosts, Tiffany Ragland and Shalonda Laster. Great women of God. I mean, just great people all together, full of wisdom, skillful in their trade and in their craft. So just please, if you can, join the call on Saturday. We're going to have some real adult conversation. Okay? Talk to you later. This is your sister Shirley. I love you all. Have a good night. Bye-bye.